Sensei is a Japanese word that means teacher, and I teach Isshin-Ryu Karate for the Recreation Department of Bethel Park at Bethel Park Community Center. I've been in Isshin-Ryu Karate for over half a century, and it's been my observation the violence is always emphasized, but the better virtues of karate is seldom seen. In this series, my purpose is to acquaint you, the viewer, with the benefits of martial arts training in general and Isshin-Ryu Karate specifically. So whether you're a martial artist already, or whether you're a person who's thought of taking martial arts, or if you're someone with no interest whatsoever in martial arts, I think you'll find this program to be of benefit to you. My name is Chuck Wallace, but my students call me Sensei. Welcome. Welcome to the 5th edition of My Students Call Me Sensei. The first 4 episodes were filmed at the Bethel Park Community Center. Today, I thought you might be interested in seeing what a karate school looks like. So today we're at the Isshin-Ryu Karate Academy of Pittsburgh. This school is located right within the boundaries of Green Tree. I have trained here for many years, and this is where I teach part-time, and this is where I work out. So I want to show you around a little bit. You may have heard the word dojo in regards to karate school. Dojo is a Japanese word that means training hall. The literal translation is way place. And this is the place where we pursue the way being karate. If you study a Korean style, it's not a dojo, it's a dojang. Dojang is a Korean word, but they both mean the same. And today we're going to look around the school a little bit, and then I've invited a good friend of mine and a longtime student of William H. Dissel and myself to assist me in demonstrating one of the specialty forms of training that we do in Isshin-Ryu Karate. First, I'd like to show you around the school a little bit, and so we'll proceed with that. In previous episodes, I've mentioned William H. Dissel. William H. Dissel was my lifetime karate instructor. In 1964, he and I studied under the founder of Isshin-Ryu Karate, Tatsuo Shimabuku from Okinawa. This picture here shows Master William H. Dissel receiving the certificate of his 10th degree black belt from Tatsuo Shimabuku's son, Kichiro Shimabuku. This occurred in the 2015 Isshin-Ryu World Karate Championship in Princeton, New Jersey. For Master Dissel, it was a highlight of his career in karate. He was very, very happy that day, and rightly so. Coming down the line here, I want to show you some of the pictures of our people. These are various students and instructors. Tatsuo Shimabuku here in a demonstration he gave in 1964. We have Kichiro Shimabuku. We have many of the black belts here from our style. Some of these pictures go back quite a way. This one goes back to 1964. We also, a little bit further, have some of the certificates of Hanshi Dissel, as well as some of the awards that he has received through the years, including his memberships to the Isshin-Ryu Hall of Fame. At the far end here, we have some pictures from last year's World Championship. Now, the World Championship is hosted by the Isshin-Ryu World Karate Association. It has membership of over 50,000 around the world. My number of membership was number 69, and Hanshi Dissel's number was 56. So we were charter members in that organization. The head of that organization is Kichiro Shimabuku, the son of the founder of Isshin-Ryu Karate. At the front of our dojo floor, we have 3 photographs on the wall in a very significant and honored position. These 3 gentlemen are very much treasured by this school and by all the practitioners of Isshin-Ryu Karate around the world, and especially in the USA. On this side, Tatsuo Shimabuku, the founder of the style Isshin-Ryu Karate, who trained Hanshi Dissel and myself in Pittsburgh in 1964 during his stay in this city. Next to Master Tatsuo Shimabuku is Master Kichiro Shimabuku, the present-day head of the Isshin-Ryu World Karate Association, headquartered in Okinawa, and the son of the founder, Tatsuo Shimabuku. This gentleman here, my lifetime instructor, the chief instructor of this school, and a man highly regarded by the Isshin-Ryu Karate affiliation around the world. He was awarded 10th degree black belt by Kichiro Shimabuku several months before his death at age 87, an honor that has never before been bestowed to an American. So these 3 men are very significant to us here at this school and to all Isshin-Ryu Karate people in general. Now today, I want to talk a little bit about some of the different forms that we have to practice our Isshin-Ryu Karate. We have the basics, Chart 1 and Chart 2. If you saw Episode 1 and Episode 2, you saw me performing and demonstrating Chart 1 and Chart 2. We have kata, the prearranged fights with imaginary opponents. You saw some of that in Episode 3 with my young students that I teach at the Bethel Park Community Center. There also is kumite, which is sparring, both prearranged kumite and freestyle kumite. Freestyle kumite is one of the ways that karate people compete at tournaments. We have the weapons that we study. We have the self-defense techniques that we teach. And last but not least, we have striking. They're all very important. Of all these different methods or categories of study for Isshin-Ryu Karate, the one that is most often neglected by many karate schools, not only in Isshin-Ryu but other styles as well, is striking. When we do our prearranged moves or when we do our freestyle sparring, we don't make full contact. We're supposed to stop at the body surface. In a situation of self-defense, you need to go further than that. If you're fighting for your life, you need to be able to strike something. Something at least as hard as another person would be. And for that, we have different striking aids that we can use. Today, I've invited my student of many years, who was also a student of William H. Dissel, to help me in demonstrating how we use these different forms to develop our striking force. So I'd like to introduce now 4th degree black belt in Isshin-Ryu Karate, a good friend of mine who trains with me every week. He travels an hour and a half from East Brady, Pennsylvania, to work out with me, Larry Krause. Larry, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Sensei.
Yes,
enjoyed being here, Sensei.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much, Sensei.
So we're going to move to another part of the dojo now, and we're going to demonstrate some of the, well, actually 3 of the ways that we can train to develop our striking force. The Makawara, the dummy named Bob. If your name is Bob, there's no similarity. Don't be offended. And also the heavy striking bag. And we'll start today with the Makawara. This is the Makawara. Now, Makawara is a traditional Okinawan striking board. It's often attached to either something solid, as this one is, or it's on a movable apparatus that can go back and forth. This one doesn't move much. It's just a slightly padded board attached to a heavier board. In each case, we have different surfaces that we're hitting, and this helps us to develop our focus on these strikes. Ah! That's the crescent kick. Crescent kick is one of the perhaps least popular kicks in Isshin-ryu karate, but it can be very effective. Ah! Ah! Swing the whole leg, and at the last second, whip in with the lower part of the leg, striking either with the ball of the foot or the heel of the foot. For greater distance, use the ball of the foot. For closer distance, use the heel. Crescent kick. Now we'll show a couple of closer in techniques. Now, from a somewhat normal way of standing, with the hands crossed in front, which is also defensive of the groin area, I'm going to step in, chop with my left hand, and as I retract that left hand, strike with the palm heel in rapid succession. Ah! 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 Next, I'm going to step in and strike with the elbow, the point of the elbow. Ah! Ah! Next technique, as before, I'm going to use the inside ridge hand strike, striking with this knuckle. I'll do it with the left side. Ah! Ah! And last, I'm going to do a dropping technique with the front hand, adding a twist of the wrist as I strike into the Makawara. This could be aimed at the solar plexus of an opponent. Ah! Ah! We're using the forward momentum, the dropping, which is gravity, and the twist of the wrist. The important thing with the palm heel is to have the wrist bent so that you're not hitting your fingers when you don't mean to. You need to hit with this part of the hand. Okay? Larry?
I'm just going to do just a couple punches and then maybe some open hand. This would be, I'm just going to come in with a leading hand, which is in closer, which means to be able to, because it's closer, be a little faster. Hey! 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 And then I'm going to do a back fist. Let's see, maybe I'll do it this way. Hey! Hey! Let's do one more time. Hey! And then I'm going to do an elbow strike. Hey! Hey! One more time. Hey! And then I'll do the combination that Sensei was showing us about coming in up underneath the ribs and into the solar plexus. Hey! Again. Hey!
The techniques that we're showing you with these different striking aids, please understand that these are for the advanced students, and they're for self-defense only, for situations where you can't talk your way or run your way out or get away in any way, shape, or form. And our students are taught only to use their karate skills if no other option is available. Please keep that in mind. But one of the targets for self-defense that's always good and effective is to attack the legs, because an attacker who doesn't have full use of his legs is neutralized almost immediately. So oftentimes a kick to the knee, such as the one I'm going to deliver, can be just a ticket to stop your attacker. Ah! Knee strike. Ah! 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 You strike with the side of the foot, and if you have shoes on, which we're likely to when we're attacked, you're hitting with the edge of the heel and digging into the knee or perhaps to the shin. Knee kicks, very effective for self-defense.
Again, I'm gonna do a back fist, and then I'm gonna come in with a straight punch. And again, you know, with the bag, we'll take out the knee here, and then it's here.
You want these, Larry?
No, I'll be good. Sensei.
All right.
See, one more time. Thank you.
This is my friend Bob. Bob never complains. No matter how hard Larry and I hit him, he never complains at all. But it's a wonderful tool for developing striking force because he's in the image of a person, half a person at least, and we have all the targets, the solar plexus, the neck, the throat, the ribs area, the temple, the chin, the nose, everything is right there. There's no need for imagination. You clearly can see what it is you're striking. So Larry and I are going to do a few techniques with Bob, showing how we target certain areas and the weapons we use to strike them. Ah! That may have looked like a slap, and it is a slap, but it's different from a slap you might get from someone who thought you were a little bit fresh. The hand is tight, very rigid. You strike the head and drive through it. Although not an Isshin-ryu karate technique, this is a wonderful technique for self-defense. It's very effective. Ah! You can strike the jaw, you can strike the ear. It's a very effective technique. The slap with a tight hand, tight wrist. Another technique that we have is that we can strike two targets at one time. Whenever you're striking, if you hit two targets, it makes it more difficult for your attacker to react. It overwhelms him. So I'm going to strike both the bridge of the nose, or the base of the nose, with the palm heel as I'm striking the solar plexus with a punch. At the same time, I'm falling forward, shifting my weight, using gravity, and using forward momentum to add to the force of the blows. Ah! Palm heel strike, driving into the nose. This should knock the wind out of your attacker, and this makes the tears flow, and it's very hard for him to see. We'll do that one once again. Ah! Okay? One of the weapons that we have in Isshin-ryu karate is the ridge hand. By folding the thumb in this way into the palm of the hand and striking in this manner, we can hit with this knuckle. We can do it from either side, of course, striking here. Combinations are always better than individual techniques because if you're not hitting with two hands at the same time, if you can hit with the same hand right off of the first hit, it's a good technique to use. Here's an inside ridge hand strike. Ah! First the side of the neck, then the ribs. Ah! Okay? Now, in a self-defense situation, if you're fighting for your life, there are some areas that you can go to that, although not guaranteed, almost guaranteed to stop your attacker. One is the throat. I'm going to do the same type technique I did with a bridge of the nose strike and a punch to the solar plexus while striking the throat with a close hand. Ah! Try that one again. Ah! Okay. All right? Now, the elbow strike is always effective. Sometimes we strike from an angle, coming in and hitting with the elbow. The important thing about an elbow strike is you want to hit right with the point of the elbow, not with the forearm in front of the elbow, but right with the point. The smaller the target, the more force at the point of impact. Ah! That should crack a rib or two. Ah! Now I'm going to show you a couple strikes with the bag gloves. When you're in a guard position, it's much faster to strike with the close hand. Close meaning close to the attacker. If you strike with this hand, it's a much closer proposition than striking with this hand because you're already practically in his face. So we're going to do that double strike with gloves on, a twist of the wrist, solar plexus, and the nose. Ah! Master Shimabuku taught us what he calls his biggie punch. Generally, it's done this way, stepping forward and blocking an incoming punch, slight turn of the waist, moving the hips first, the arm comes around straight, and then whips in to the rib area. So I'm going to show you what he called his biggie punch. Ah! Coming into the ribs. Ah! Or higher. Ah! Ah! Now we'll give Larry a turn.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate it very slow, and then I'll do it fast. I'm just going to share with you a couple combinations. And of course, Isshin-Ryu karate mainly is we're in close fighting, so we do a lot of upper body techniques. So I'm going to do a hook punch in the side of his head. Then this is going to come around to a back fist. And then this is going to come into the, I'm going to do a left punch into the solar plexus. And then this elbow is going to go into the solar plexus. This is going to come up to the base of the neck. Okay, and then when this comes in the base of the neck, this will pinch the artery that's coming up through the neck, and this will make this side become paralyzed for a few seconds. Okay, and then this knee's going to come up with a knee kick into his ribs. So now I'll demonstrate it a little faster. Say it one more time here. Okay, then this next technique is very simple to do. This is going to be, we're going to do scrape the eyes. Then this is going to come back. Again, you're going to hit the base of the neck, which will pinch that artery coming up through. And then you're going to break the collarbones, which will only take about 10 pounds of pressure. And then you come up with an elbow strike, and then back to the base of the neck. And then again, with a knee to the ribs. So again, it's very simple to do. Say one more time. And then one other simple technique, be 2 hammer fists into the ribs, one here, here, here. And then it's going to be a palm heel strike up underneath the chin. And then when you do that palm heel strike, these 2 fingers will go into the eye. And so you'll be an eye gouge. Okay, one more time. Again, with the gloves, you want to go in with the leading hand, and of course, you're cutting distance, which gives you more speed. So at this point, I'm going to do a hook punch into his ribs, and then this is going to come up underneath the chin. Okay, one more time. And then now I'm going to share with you a back fist, and then follow up through with a straight punch. And so what I'm going to do, I want him to think high. When he's thinking high, I'm going to come in, then low into the solar plexus. One more time. Okay, thank you.
Very good. If you noticed, with each technique, Larry and I used a shout. Now, the shout in karate is called a ki-ai. And a ki-ai, the meaning of it is shout of spirit. But we're trying to unify body, mind, and spirit and have everything come together at the instant that we strike the opponent or the striking aid that we're using. Ki-ais add more force to the technique. If one ki-ais prior to striking, that has the purpose of startling the opponent and giving you, the defender, a chance to launch your attack before he can launch his attack on you. I want to mention that there are some weapons that are naturally adaptable for people who are either novices in the self-defense area or totally unfamiliar with it. One of them is the elbow, and we saw how the elbow can strike. The elbow can be very effective. Another one is the knee, and the knee can be a very effective weapon. These are weapons that a person can use. Last but not least, the palm heel, and you want to strike with the heel of the palm. Years ago, when I was 10 years old, I saw an advertisement in the press, the Pittsburgh Press, and sent away for a booklet for $1 printed by the FBI that mentioned some of these weapons that can be effective for women's self-defense. Palm heel was one of those weapons. Now, women or men or children, palm heel is a good weapon. It can be used against the nose. It can be used coming up under against the throat. You can do as a strike, as I did with Bob. It's very effective. As far as the knee is concerned, with someone grappling with you, drive the knee into this area here. Groin strikes with the knee can be very effective. And of course, the elbow speaks for itself, being sharp and ready to go. We hope you've enjoyed our program today. It gave you a chance to see a little bit of action, a little bit of sound, and I hope it's been a benefit to you. Keep in mind, we only use these techniques whenever we only have to. And as far as I know, we have never really had to use them seriously. And so that's an important factor. Next session, next episode, I'd like to spend the whole time on self-defense, the general category of self-defense for men, for women, and for children. So be sure and tune in on that one. I think you'll enjoy it. As always, I thank you for your attention, appreciate having you viewing, and we look forward to being with you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Peace.